Hey, welcome back to Movie Community College. I am the professor, and I'm not going to call this a movie review yet. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of come to you in installments. You guys have recommended a film to me over and over and over again, and we did some trailer reactions. One of them was, react to this scene, react to that scene, and I just found it on Netflix, and it's called The Gangs of Wasseypur. I think am I saying that right? Wasseypur? The Gangs of Wasseypur. And from what I understand, it's a two-part film. It's like 7 hours long, and it's like a 2-day event to go watch this. I found it on Netflix, and Netflix has taken a little different approach of presenting it to the American audience, which I think is kind of a wise idea because American cinema is completely different, I think, to India cinema. We don't have the attention span that you guys do. Things need to be quite to the point for the American to pay attention because we've kind of dumbed ourselves down. So what they've done is they've taken this film and they've done it as 8 episodes. So you get like 43 minutes of it as an episode, and you kind of go through the line. And I saw episode 1. Right, I saw episode 1 of it, so it was like I guess the first 43, 48 minutes of it, and like I said, I'll go through and I'll do each time I finish an episode, I'll come here and update you guys, and then I'll kind of do a movie review. Let me just tell you this: I did a video on homemade fan made of The Punisher, Dirty Laundry. The guy who was behind that also worked on this film. He was a producer on this film, and he is considered to be one of the top 10 men in Hollywood, Bollywood, kind of straddling the two, and his name escapes me off the top of my head. But I watched episode 1 last night of this, and you got to be kidding me, dude! Out of the gates, I mean, out of the gates, this thing was just balls to the wall, intriguing to me. Watching this Indian thriller of gangland, it was intriguing. I mean, I'm completely fascinated off of this first episode of this thing that I saw. It opens up, and I'm sure this isn't a spoiler for you guys because so many of you have recommended it to me. When it opens up with we're the gangs kind of going through the street, firing off a shot here and there, telling all the civvies, "Hey, close your doors up, dude. This is gonna get ugly. Close your doors up." And everybody's got the metal door, like, dude, like this must be commonplace. And they're rolling the doors down, and they get to the palace, and they start bombing the palace, trying to shoot the palace up. They're trying to get into and kill the guy in the palace, and you see them make this attempt, and they think they're successful, and then it kind of flashes back into time, and you see the British kind of take over. And is this a true story, or is this just something that is fictionalized history? Because when you see the British take over, it really kind of helped me get a better sense of what is going on in India when I see the films. Because you see the British take over, you see instantly what I see you guys say in the comments all the time is how the British came in, took our natural resources, and really screwed us as a nation. And you see that kind of happening to India. Then you see Great Britain pull out, and this first Indian government comes in and is really corrupt. And it makes sense to me now with this corruption that stepped into the vacuum of the Brits pulling out, that you see all of these films touch on the corruption of India. I mean, it's very common, and America's a very corrupt place too. Our corruption just looks different, I think. But almost every film I see, there seems to be either it's a man versus a corrupt system, and we need to change it, or we're going to make fun of the system because it's just so absurd how corrupt everything is. And you see the story of this guy who was robbing trains, and he was warned by the Muslim gangs. He was warned, hey, listen, in certain territories you don't cross over, if I understood it right. And he's like, to hell with this, dude. We're gonna do this. We'll roll. We're gonna go get some money, and he's just robbing people left and right, and he's doing it in such a way that it'll get blamed on the other guy, and you just kind of watch the story unfold. You see the ambush of his gang. You see them all die except the 2 of them who got away, and he gets hired on to being an enforcer, and you just see him like this is setting up to be like India mafioso. and it's done in such a real and gritty way that it's just like this thing is freaking epic. What I saw, I know the episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 could all suck, but off of episode 1, with the story, the direction that we stepped into, this world that they've created, that they pivoted us into, this conflict of these two gangs, and the history of these gangs going back and forth. When we see the enforcer guy who's working for, they called him the Muscle Man. He killed the Muscle Man over his wife getting pregnant and having the difficult childbirthing, and she died, and now he's left with his son, and then he kind of becomes a replacement Muscle Man, and we see his murder, right? And then we see the young boy that's left alone in this world, already lost mom, now lost dad, being raised by an uncle, shaving his head, right? Maybe I should take a vow of revenge on something. I don't know. Shaving his head and saying, I will not let my hair grow back until I have vengeance. I'm going to destroy that man. I'm going to kill that man. We see the marriage scene. We see her snooping around, the new wife snooping around his belongings, and they have that discussion, and he's just talking with such passion. It was very, very Al Pacino-like. It was very Scarface-like. I'm going to kill that man. I'm going to destroy that effing man. And the wife is just laying on his chest like, yeah. So, I have a question for you guys. Is this a true story? Okay, number one. Number two, there's a lot of profanity in the film, and I don't care about that. But is there that much profanity in the Indian languages? I don't know. I mean, I've heard once, and again, this is showing my ugly Americanism. I heard once that, like in Hebrew, there are no swear words. So if you're going to swear in Israel, they they use English, right, to swear. And I understand, like, Spanish has some swear words. I'm just curious, is that accurate? Are there that many swear words in the Indian languages? I don't know. Just a thought. Help the professor out, if you will. Outstanding film. What I'm going to do with this video is each episode I'm going to come back and share my thoughts with you. That's kind of how it's set up on Netflix, and then I'll give you an entire movie review on this. And Act 1, let's call it. Wow. I was blown away. I was blown away by the quality of acting, the action, the filming of it. To see this thing put out there is just, it was really, really good. And so with that being said, please subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date on all of our videos. And I thank you so much for watching. Peace.